وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. يروي الإمام مسلم في صحيحه عن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله عنه قال قال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم. The hadith tonight, the collection of Imam Muslim narrated to us by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri رضي الله عنه. And the theme of the unlawfulness of harm is what I'm going to continue inshallah to the end of this week. We'll start something new inshallah ta'ala next week. And this is a hadith that talks about harm and it specifies where it's happening and how it's happening. And I think it's a hadith that's worth sharing with you within this theme for sure. Because of the type of harm the Prophet ﷺ cared for. This is what I'm trying to get you to see. The Prophet ﷺ, when he looked at harm, he didn't just look at someone punching someone, or someone stealing from someone, or someone who's killing someone. He looked at other aspects of harm that are a bit more subtle, that we tend to overlook or not care about, where as simple as overstepping someone when they're sitting to attend something with or harming them by speaking, whispering, and excluding them from the conversation. Stuff that most of it don't even qualify as harm. This hadith today is a little bit more direct. So he said, عليه الصلاة والسلام, the following: قال إياكم والجلوس في الطرقات. Be very aware and careful from sitting. Do not. And he's basically, إياكم means don't do it. إياكم here is not like إياك نعبد. It's different. إياكم is I warn you from ever doing this. And the linguistic reasoning behind it is long. I'm not going to. For another time. So إياكم والجلوس في الطرقات, may you not spend time sitting on the sides of paths where people walk. That's what طرقات means. He's not talking about a highway, but he's talking about paths where people are walking back and forth to buy they're going to buy things, or they're bringing back their merchandise, or it's a place, it's a public space that everyone is using, everyone needs to use, men and women, young and old need to use. So when you sit there on the path, on the side of the path, the Prophet ﷺ saw that to be not something that you should be doing. Right? فقالوا يا رسول الله ما لنا بد من الجلوس فيها من مجالسنا نتحدث فيها. We have nowhere else to spend time to talk to each other and see each other, and like this is what we've been doing for a long time. If you tell us to take this away, then we're we're stuck. Like we don't have anywhere else. This is where we've always been sitting. This is always where we have our conversations. So and the Prophet ﷺ would say something, and the Sahaba sometimes, if they felt like the warning or the piece of advice he gave ﷺ was something that they could argue with, they didn't feel bad about doing that. Not arguing, but if there was a thought that they wanted to share, or if they felt that this was going to be difficult, or they felt this was not going to be something that was feasible, they would bring it up to him ﷺ. And that shows you, that's important obviously for this whole story to exist, because if they didn't, Islam would look differently. It's that interaction between the Prophet ﷺ and his companions that allowed us to have Islam the way it is. فقال فإن كان ولا بد فأعطوا الطريق حقه. If you have to sit in it, like there's no way out of it, then give the path its right. فقالوا يا رسول الله وما حق الطريق, and what is the right of the path? فقال عليه الصلاة والسلام غض البصر وكف الأذى ورد السلام والأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. عليه الصلاة والسلام. He said these 4 things. Then you must shy away with your guys, or lower your gaze. Shy away with your eyes when you're looking, or lower your gaze when people are walking back and forth. Don't stare at what they're carrying, or at them. This is important. Like something to learn, to teach your kids even. Like there's a fine line between curiosity and nosiness, between normal behavior and actually prying into people's personal lives and seeing something and looking. He was carrying mouz ma'a. It seemed like he had bought those expensive peaches, or he got something. Well, it's not your business what this person. Oh, it was filled with meat, or they ordered food, or they brought in. So for غض البصر, it's not just not looking at someone's physique, like if a lady is walking by. No, it's also not prying into people's personal lives. So you don't stare. Sometimes people don't want you to know that they're at home today, or that they're walking back, or that they were here that time. Like everyone's like, you have that problem too. Like you don't always want to be reachable, or to be accessible, or to be known that you were at one place or the other. So غض البصر وكف الأذى, and withholding harm, making sure that you don't cause any form of harm. And this is like the theme of the whole thing. وَرَدُّ السلام, and offering back salam when it's given to you. وَالْأَمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. And when you see something that is happening that is positive, you continue to encourage it. And when a problem comes up, or whether there's harm occurring in front of you, that you discourage it and you stop it. And these are the rights of the path. Like if you're going to exist in a public space, this is what you owe the people there. You owe not to pry into their personal lives, do not cause any harm, to respond when people speak to you in a proper way, and to continue to encourage good behaviors and discourage the ones that are not beneficial. Otherwise, if you can't do those things, then don't إياكم والجلوس في الطرقات. Then don't sit around in public spaces just watching people flow back and forth, because that's how he sees that عليه الصلاة والسلام as a form of harm, because people don't like to be pried. And I think it's something worth contemplating. There's obviously a lot of fiqh aspects here that I didn't discuss with you, and there's a lot of questions that you could ask that I could offer answers. But I just want you to take the basic idea from this hadith and to benefit from. I hope that was of benefit to you. يروي الإمام مسلم في صحيحه عن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم إياكم والجلوس في الطرقات فقالوا يا رسول الله ما لنا بد من مجالسنا نتحدث فيها فقال فإن كان ولا بد فأعطوا الطريق حقه فقالوا يا رسول الله ما حق الطريق فقال غض البصر وكف الأذى ورد السلام والأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. سبحانك وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. وصلى الله وسلم